Hi, I'm Raymond Frankel, one of the anchors of Autonomous News Savannah. Savannah police recently made national headlines with the harassment of local worker and student Patrick Mumford. On July 14th, the Claiborne law firm released a video from this past February showing police approach Patrick while they were looking for this man, Michael Clay. When they asked for his name, he answered truthfully. However, police on the scene did not believe Patrick, apparently uncertain of what their suspect looked like. Rather than ask for his ID, police began to forcibly remove him from his car and were ordered to tase him within just 38 seconds of asking for his name. This is in direct violation of his constitutional rights, wherein police are required to have probable cause in order to legally detain someone.
Move, Fox, move!
After a brief struggle, police fully detained him against the hood of one of their cars. They took his ID from his wallet.
How long I had a warrant?
I don't know if you got a warrant, because you're not who I'm looking for, but here's the deal. When I ask you for ID because you look a lot like the person we're looking for...
Man, y'all is hell. Ow! Alright, well, that one's stuck.
Okay.
One of the barbs from the taser got stuck in his back, and Patrick had to be hospitalized for its removal, and furthermore was arrested for an obstruction charge, which has since been dropped. Savannah Police Department tried to counter this damning evidence by releasing a statement from Chief Lumpkin and 3 videos from officers' body cams of the incident to their own YouTube channel. The statement claimed that the video was misleading and apparently intended to be inflammatory, and stated that an internal investigation of the incident was underway. In response, William Claiborne of the Claiborne Law Firm indicated on Facebook that his version of the incident was indeed a factual account of what happened, and that he had actually posted the unedited video 8 hours before posting the edited video, which was made to be shorter and contains more information beyond the video itself. He went on to point out that the Savannah Chatham Metropolitan Police Department had not opened an internal affairs investigation of this incident until after he had posted the body cam footage. The version that the Claiborne Law Firm posted onto the internet has since gone viral, gaining more than 15 million views on Facebook alone, after being shared by the well-known Black Lives Matter activist Shaun King. The links to the full videos will be posted in the description. It is imperative that law enforcement officials are held to the highest standards of accountability, or at the very least the same amount of accountability as the rest of us. The police have been leading a fairly successful hiring campaign for some time now, resulting in hundreds of relatively new police officers. If it seems that one or more of these officers are incapable of handling the responsibility of a gun and a badge while maintaining civil and legal relationship with civilians, then everyone gains from the removal of that officer, police and civilians alike. Speaking of Black Lives Matter activists, on July 10th, Savannah saw perhaps its largest demonstration since the Civil Rights Movement. Hundreds gathered in Forsyth Park for a religious vigil in remembrance of Alton Sterling, Philando Castile, and a number of other black men killed by police this and last year alone.
Lord, would you show them through their parents, show them through their community, show them through right now that they do matter, that you created them in your image and that you love them. And Father, I pray for everyone here, whatever color they are, whatever gender they are, whatever sexual preference they have, God, that we would see that all of us are important to you, and therefore all of us should be important to one another.
The vigil was organized by a local Black Lives Matter chapter who was attempting to start up a Black Lives Matter church. The vigil was followed by an impassioned street march along a route which had been predetermined by organizers of the vigil and the police.
Don't act like you're saving us. It's the same. Man, I like I made it up. You're blaming us. You keep it 100, you dated dangerous.
This followed a route which had been set by police and event organizers. However, at one point, the group went off the predetermined route, bypassed multiple makeshift police blockades, marched through City Market, and then ended with a demonstration in front of City Hall as planned. In other news, the Dutch company Fibrin, formerly known as DSM, announced that it would be shutting down U.S. operations. From an ecological standpoint, this is welcome news for Savannah, as the DSM chemical plant has been one of the top polluters of the Savannah River since 1966. According to reports in 2014, the Savannah River is the 3rd most polluted river in North America. When we learned of that report, we at ANSav started making an upcoming documentary about the Savannah River. Savannah Riverkeeper Tanya Bonitadovich speaks about the outfall of the DSM plant in our river near Augusta.
This is DSM chemical and potashes outfall into the Savannah River. This is the single largest outfall in the state of Georgia. So it is a huge, huge outfall. The Savannah River gets enough stuff put into it throughout the year to rate as the third largest amount of toxic releases in the United States. So a huge amount of stuff gets dumped into this river. About 6.8 million tons of it. Half of all of that comes from this one outfall right here. So this is a massive, massive place.
In other news, many Savannah residents have noticed the emergence since last December of the local Walls of Hope pieces by local artist Panhandle Slim, featuring historically relevant people of color with inspirational or thought-provoking quotes. These artworks had an immediate noticeable effect in some areas and were met with high praise from the Savannah community.
Looking at those pictures, I started wondering if they were actually working, so I used Metro Police's interactive crime mapping software to check it out, and there were some interesting trends we found. Take, for instance, this one at Skidaway and Pennsylvania Avenue. It was posted on December 12th. Now, here's crime reported in a 1-mile radius of that area for the 11 days before it was posted, and here's what it looks like in the 11 days since. It's pretty interesting to see. And there's this one at MLK and 31st that was posted on the 14th. Once again, here's the crime reported in a 1-mile radius of the area in the 9 days before that picture was put up. Here's what the same area looks like in the 9 days following. Again, much less. Of course, you can't conclusively say they've caused that reduction in crime, but it's definitely an interesting trend to see.
Recently, according to a report from WJCL, the Walls of Hope were targeted by Savannah's Metropolitan Planning Commission, and business owners were given as little as 5 days to remove the pieces by July 5th. The organizers of the Walls of Hope project have since met with the MPC to clarify any misunderstandings. We spoke on the phone with Tom Thompson, the executive director of the Metropolitan Planning Commission, to get a better understanding of the situation and learn the results of that meeting. Thompson told us there is a local ordinance which states murals must be approved with a certificate of appropriateness, granted by the Savannah Historic Site and Monument Commission. This ordinance came as a result of complaints regarding the "Before I Die" walls, which let people write their life goals in a way that would be visible to the public. Those were put up, but shortly taken down in 2012 after complaints from neighbors prompted the Metropolitan Planning Commission to reassess their approval process. Thompson told us that the short notice was an accident. Since the meeting with the organizers of the Walls of Hope project, he says the pieces have been temporarily allowed to remain up through August 8th as long as the businesses apply for their permit, which is free. However, he made it clear that the pieces are considered graffiti without the city's direct approval. He says if the businesses do not get their permits by the deadline, the work will be taken down through Savannah's graffiti eradication program. We've learned that this is apparently constitutional, as the Supreme Court decided in the case of Berman v. Parker that local governments have the authority to determine and control the beauty of a city. However, viewers should remember that the city governments are still meant to answer to us, and we'll be putting the email addresses of the city administration in our description in case you have any strong feelings about this which you'd like to address. We are currently working to get an update on this story from the local businesses which host the artwork. That's it for this ANSav report. We're currently working on reformatting our programming so we can get more news to you faster. Please help us accomplish this by donating to our GoFundMe page or by becoming a patron at Patreon. Every little bit helps. Subscribe to get more updates in the future. And be safe, and we'll see you next time.